This is my top Sky Striker deck. I brought it to a 30-man tournament. We split top 4. Each of us got a box. It performed very well. It's Roze control is the strategy I built the deck to play. I'll explain that more when I get into the deck list, but I just wanted to share this and hear the community's thoughts. So starting off, we got 3 red and 3 Roze. I wanted to see a Sky Striker name ASAP. That's why I played 3 instead of 2. It's really good. Doesn't break. A lot of interactions throughout this deck, and it helps you with TK. I'll explain it as we get further in. Other hand traps, we play 3 Bell, 3 Ash. Bell's good to stop a lot. It hit a lot of revolts today. I'll go run matches at the end. But I played a lot of Tri-Brigade, and phenomenal in that card. It stops DD Crow from hitting your engage and other cards. It's like anti-hand trap, and Ash. The thing I wanted my hand traps to do is take off 1 interruption from their board. So it makes it easier to break because you're going blind second with this deck. Game 1. I'll explain my strategy when I get to the side with going second, going first, those type of games. And then 2 Nib. Originally this was 3 Nib. I cut 1 to try out Dark Ruler. I'm going to put a 3rd one back in, I think, but 2 are really dead in hand if you draw multiples in this deck, because a lot of decks like Tri-Brigade make Appaloosa before 5th summon. So it makes it difficult, and you can't really get rid of a dead Nib in hand very easily in Striker. This performed really well today. You tribute off their extra monster. You give them, you get the Nib, they get the token, and then you summon Roze from the graveyard. So then you have a Nib Roze into Zeke, banish the token, and you just have free advantage your next turn. So this cleans up games. For the spells, Striker spells, I played 3 Widow Anchor and 3 Area 0. So I know a lot of people play 2 of this. Honestly, I opened 3 one game and I lost that game. Surprise, surprise. But this was really strong for me. The way I play this deck is, it feels really bad to search 0 too, but usually you just want to open it. I want it to be as consistent as possible to hit Ray, but also Area 0, it adds a spell engrave turn 1. Nobody wants to waste an Ash or Disruption on this. It's also, because this is Roze control, you turbo out Zeke, which brings out Roze, and then you send the field spell because you're going to OTK the opponent, which is this. So oftentimes your combos involve sending the field spell. And that's why I played 3, because I want to have access and I also want to be able to play it the turn after. But those are the 3 ofs. 2 ofs, 2 Afterburner, 2 Shark Cannon. So Afterburner was really strong. This card's phenomenal. I won second every game but 1. Someone made me go first. Every game 1. I won second except for 1. This is phenomenal. I load up 3 spells engrave, hit this for a +1, and then try and push your playthrough. And Shark Cannon, this was alright. I only use this for going for OTKs really, or in the Drytron matchup. I'm going to cut 1 of these for a second Eagle Booster when I play in the future. I think Eagle Booster is really strong in a lot of matchups, especially going second. But this wasn't bad. This was good. And then 1-off Striker spells, Engage, Multi-Roll, phenomenal, obviously. Hornet Drones, very good. And Eagle Booster, this is probably my favorite. This card's amazing. It ensures you go like Hayate, send this, Kagari, add back, Shiz, hold this in hand, and it ensures your Shiz goes off. But this is also useful. A lot of the times you make Shizuku and then set 1 pass so you don't get blown out by like Twin Twisters, Duster, or whatever. And you have like a hand trap in hand as like backup. And then you flip this on Shiz, so they have to remove it by battle during the battle phase if you don't have 3 spells engraved, which is most likely if you're going for that play. And then you revive the Ray, so it ensures you have a striker name essentially the next turn and you don't get OTK'd, and then they have to commit to the field to remove your striker, and then you OTK them using their monsters. So it's really cool. Big fan. Very strong card going second. All right, moving on. So they're like the sub-engine cards. I played 2 mine. Phenomenal. You got to play this if you're going second to striker. This card's so strong. It worked out really well for me all day. Phenomenal. It's not like, this isn't the win con. Like, you don't play mine and then go for the deck out. You play mine and then you either play under it. Like, you can go striker, Hayate, multi-roll, Kagari, add back, multi-roll, activate, multi-roll, pop your striker, and then you have multi-roll on board for the following turn, because they most likely can't out this in one turn. And then your following turn, you have multi-roll plus striker, and you go in. But also, a lot of the times, game ones, I'll sit on this for like 5 turns, to where we both have 6 cards in hand and like 3 on field, 4 on field. And then I pop this on my turn using multi-roll or activating area 0. And then I wipe their board, and I end with like 4 cards set, striker on field, and 5 cards in hand, to where they can't, against their 6 cards in hand, because they don't have a field. And yeah, that's game over. That's how you win games with mine, because you negate all their stuff, and you end the game the 3rd turn after you blow them on. 2 MSTS cards, really strong. I just played this over Jamming Waves. Pops area 0 to get to mine, to get to red. That actually came up a couple times. It's good. It can pop your other striker to get a 3rd one engraved. It's easy. It just trades with like schisms. It trades with revolts. It trades with a lot of like random backers. A lot of decks will like set 1 or 2 this format, so I like it. It's just I didn't want to play a lot of it because I don't want to have to side in more. I wanted to play like some backer removal. I like this, worked out really well. I'll keep playing it. And then goods package. So I didn't play Desires in my deck. Instead, I chose to run this. This is extremely strong. I don't know. I'm not sure like why people don't like this at the moment. Something I feel really strongly about, because you start with 5 cards and one of them's goods. You activate goods, you send this, and then goods plus up starts a combo. That's a whole other thing. But you do goods, you send this, and then you activate a spell, you get 3 engraved, you do your striker stuff, and then you shuffle this back. But the end result is if you open up goods, you open up, so 5 cards, one of them goods, and then you have, you use goods, fusion, and then draw. So then you have 5 cards in hand still with a spell engrave. So it's literally just a free spell engrave. And fusion isn't even a dead draw in this deck, because area 0, multi-roll, all that stuff. And then for the power spells, like the one-off spells, these are really good because they get spells in the grave as well. Rhoda, Mind Control, Upstart, Terraforming, and 1 Dark Ruler. I tested this in the main over Nib. I don't want to dead draw multiple Nibs. It's good because it gets spell engrave, and we're always going second, so helps with breaking boards, stopping Appaloosas, and like. So that's the main deck, 40 cards. Extra, we play 3 green, 3 red, and then 3 blue. I think that's pretty standard. And then 1 Kana and 1 Zeke. So Zeke, this is what like makes the deck work. You're able to play Roze control with, because you banish the opponent's EMZ, you summon the Roze, and then you negate another monster on the board, and you then use Zeke effect, sending the field spell to bring out Ray. And 25 has an arrow pointing down, so 25 plus 15 from Ray tribute plus 15 from Hayate, plus 15 from Roze summoning from grave. That's 7k. So turn 4, that's an OTK, because turn 2 you poke with Hayate, and this is how you go for game. Also, how you play like the control is you banish their EMZ monster on turn 2. You summon out the Roze, and then you can make you can like send the field spell, summon out Ray, and then you can use Roze into like Kana or something and make Ningirsu effect, and like you go from there to break their board. And then their end phase, their EMZ monster comes back from Zeke effect, and then your turn 4. So turn 2 you do Zeke, turn 4, so your next turn you Widow Anchor their EMZ monster and OTK them with it. So it's really good. It worked out extremely well for me. I'm gonna play 2 of this over. I want to play the second Zeke over Bomber is what I would do. I just don't have the second Zeke right now, but Bomber, I didn't even make it, but I played it just as like a link off material. And then Phoenix, order out if you open Roze, right? 2 monsters. And then Gears, this card's phenomenal. This card is so free in this deck. You send a field spell, you send activate, chain quick play, send quick play. It's really good. And it's able to send itself to clear itself off board, so that's how you get like multiple monsters. Especially when you're doing Zeke plays in this Roze build, you'll oftentimes have extra monsters on board. This is what you do with it. Sometimes I'll end with like Ningirsu and the EMZ with like 5 back row, just if it's necessary. and then 1 Boral Sword. I would probably run an access code over this card if you have one. I don't have access code, but this worked out well. It acts, what you need it to do is out Arrival at Ignister and other like Towers like cards, so this deck has a difficult time getting over. I did play Ignister and this did out it. Let's see, what did I do? I did Shark Cannon, Chain, Widow Anchor, took his access code, revived his Link 2, and then linked off my Striker Link, Link 2 plus his access code for a Boral Sword, and then summoned Ray, and then attack. And that was a game. I'll go over my matches at the end of this too, if you're interested. And then real quickly, I'll go over my side deck. I got 3 Kaiju, really strong in this format. Shout out to the guys in my, to the person in my comment section that recommended, last video, recommended me try out Kaiju. This card's phenomenal, worked really well. Out's the Diviner. That's the main card I'm scared about when playing this deck competitively is Diviner. Fortunately, so I played 9 outs to it, or at least Diviner, 5 negates, 5 ways to stop that. And then you side in these guys. Really strong. Ideally, one other thing is when in my Striker builds, I like to play as little hand traps as possible, because in Striker, if you can have a spell that does the same thing a hand trap does, so like removes a negate from the board, or outs Herald, that type of thing, you always want to play the spell because it's graveyard fuel. And but yeah, so I just felt like Kaiju just did a unique job. It did phenomenal. I was really happy with it. Oh man, all right. Then we have Double Twister, back row decks. Good because it gets multiple spells in the grave, hits area 0, mirror match. Duster, power spell. This card's like +4. It can go +4. Jamming Wave, sided in. This blows out back row decks, so like you only need 1 because you can search it, and then it just goes +2 against a lot of those decks. And then Dark Ruler, the other Dark Ruler. Yeah, going second against board decks. And then I played, this is my going first package. 3 DDG and 3 Sanctum, and then a Scythe. So what I did was I wanted to go blind second first. So like I went second every game except for one where the guy won the die roll and he knew what I was playing. But like in like a YCS or something, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, so DDG, I wanted normal traps because so they're chainable, because they're going to side in all their back row removal already for like your mines, your striker cards, your multi-rolls, that type of stuff. So they're going to have outs like there can be only 1 and like whatever else you have. So a lot of the times I would, if I had a striker play, like if I opened Ray or Rose, I would go like Shiz turn 1. But then I would also, like if I didn't have that play and I opened one of these, I would just set it and then like 1 other striker spell or 1 other spell and pass. And then if they have any like Cosmics, MST, if they have Twin Twister, Feather Duster, you know, Lightning Storm, any of those, they're going to use that at the start of their main phase, and then you chain the chainable trap. So it gets rid of their removal and then it turns them off for a turn. I wanted all these traps to be good against every meta deck. So any deck in the meta, you flip one of these 2 and they're probably going to have to pass turn. That's just how it is. These cards are really strong. It worked out phenomenally for me, especially because game 2, if you win game 1, they're going to make you go first. And then, yeah, I might even put trap tricks in if I find the room, but 6 cards, it's pretty consistent to open it. Yeah, so that's my deck. I'll go over my matches real quick, and then you guys can let me know your thoughts with tokens. So matches, I played Invoke Dogmatica game 1, Mystic Mind for like 20 turns, and then I won that, you know, broke his board after I turned off my mind. Second match, Tri Brigade. I didn't play any Tri Brigade Zoo. I played 1 Tri Brigade Ancient Warrior, and then all the others were pure, or like whatever the standard build is called nowadays, without the Zoo cards. And then round 3, I played Ad Ignister. I 2-0'd that. I got game 2, I opened Nib plus Kaiju, so that was kind of cheating. And then game 1, I Boral sorted him. Because I made, on turn 2, because I went second game 1, I ended with Shiz and a set Eagle Booster. And he couldn't OTK me through that because I had 3 spells in grave. So then turn 4, I was able to, you know, take his access code, Shark Cannon, his Link, and then Boral Sword, Ray OTK. Round 4, Tri Brigade. This is I was forced to go first game 1 and I brick game 2, so that was a L. And then round 5, this guy opened Imperial Order game 1 of all things. But yeah, overall not bad. That's the only really know from that much. Tri Brigade round 6. That was top 8, no bricks. We're chilling. And then top 4 split. We each had the option between a box, the Lightning Overdrive, or $50 store credit. So I took store credit, trying to get some Megatons. But yeah, that was my experience playing Striker. Roze controls my take on the deck. If you have any comments on like how it plays differently or whatever, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on like the deck list and any other tech cards I should play that I'm not. And peace out.